Well, here we are in March. 2 months down and 10 to go. And needless to say, it's gonna come roaring again like a lion. Lately, I started going back to the Ingleton Public Library, and here's the movies I found. Making my way through them. This one, Racing Stripes, is one of the worst things I have ever seen in my entire life. Unfortunately, because of familiar faces in the voice casting, she has a birthday coming up next month. I want to do a retrospective episode on her. We'll have to wait till then for my review on this, but trust me, it's bad. And then there was The Big Country, which, I don't know. I know it's supposed to be classic, but I just don't get it. I tried watching it and was bored to tears. So I stopped about 30 minutes in, and what I did see didn't even give me enough for an episode, so that went out the window. And then there's tonight's episode, David Lynch's The Elephant Man. Yep. My first time in the world of this guy. Presented in glorious decolorization. Man, why did I think to do the Wolfman episode in B&W? David Lynch has been regarded as a very surreal filmmaker, so to speak. Throughout his career, he's been known to pepper his works with weird junk, whether it's his feature films, his cult TV series Twin Peaks, or any of his other endeavors. So what better way to enter his world with his multi-Academy Award nominated 1980 triumph, The Elephant Man. The film is based on a true story of Joseph Merrick, who has been at times incorrectly referred to as John Merrick, which name he takes on for the film. It's late 19th century London, the Victorian era, and Sir Frederick Treves, played by Anthony Hopkins, takes a look at what a local circus has dubbed the Terrible Elephant Man. It turns out to be Mr. Merrick himself, played by John Hurt, whose horribly disfigured appearance stuns Treves to tears. Feeling sorry for him, Treves tries to get to know Merrick a little before taking him into the isolation ward at the hospital he works at. While there, he begins to care for Merrick to the best of his abilities, first by teaching him to speak, and by dressing him nice, having him visit his home, and even introducing her to actress Mrs. Kendall, played by Anne Bancroft. On the other hand, a night porter, played by Michael Elphick, still sees the Elephant Man as a freak, doing what he can to exploit his order for all it's worth, even inviting a mob to swarm him as home in one late game scene. Should that be spoiler marked? The real gist of the Elephant Man is that it's a triumph of the spirit kind of story. When Merrick is in the freak show, he's clearly suffering, not just from the congenital disorder that has inflicted him throughout his life, but from the poor treatment that circus owner Mr. Blight, played by Freddie Jones, has been giving him. When he's under Treves' care, however, he experiences an uplifting of his spirit, often showing gratitude for those who care for him, and at various points talking and working on a model in a nearby chapel. Hell, he even goes out in public and doesn't wear the guard depicted in the poster and home video box art. Befitting the amazing story is the fact that, under Lynch's direction, it is very artfully done, with black and white cinematography that still looks every bit as sumptuous as it did in 1980, period accurate set design, and several moments where he gets to pull out some visual effects tricks, like in the first few minutes of the film, where a woman is trampled by elephants. Note Lynch's use of slow motion at scene. He emphasized the fact that it's an emotional moment that will come to play later in the film, or that is indeed no stranger to emotional moments, including the very end of the film, which, of course, depicts Merrick's death at the age of 27. As it wasn't enough that the film succeeds in the storytelling and craftsmanship departments, it also iced the cake with incredible acting across the board. Anthony Hopkins as Treves, John Hurt as Merrick, Anne Bancroft as Miss Kendall, John Gielgud as Cargum, and so on. They all embody their roles excellently. Put together, The Elephant Man is a powerful cinematic package, a work to emphasize the fact that even if you're ridiculed as a freak, there's always someone who will treat you like a human being. And in the end, that's what we all are, no matter what we look like. Human. I go on and on about this film, but you get the gist of it. Obviously a 10 out of 10 score. Hell, I think he even tops Hamilton as the best thing I've seen on the show so far. That's it for this edition of First Impressions, but I have something else to say as well. Once I could spotlight several black stories last month, I also want to acknowledge Women's History Month by doing the same for estrogen-driven filmmaking. In fact, that's our next episode.